You've got your snacks, you've adjusted your tracking, and we're ready to go. Hello, welcome to Planet Hex. I'm Andrew Hawnt. On this episode, we're going to go VHS hunting again, and we're going to talk about ex-rental tapes and the appreciation of these things. These are real relics of our pop culture pasts. First, before we go on to eBay and check out what's going on there with ex-rental videos, I'm going to show you my recent acquisitions. I have picked up a couple of these. Picked up all these recently, but I have shown a couple of them already on the channel, but I just want to get them all together in one VHS-centric video. So the first one, I'm going to make a video all about this. It's Demons 3, the Ogre. That isn't actually Demons 3, it's just the Ogre, because there isn't a Demons 3, but I'm doing a video soon on the strange case of Demons 3 and what was going on with that. It was a weird situation with that movie. But yeah, it's passable. It's like it's a TV movie. It's entertaining enough, but it ain't Demons 3. Today's acquisition would be Body Melt. So I've not actually seen this, so this could be part of my 100 movies in 100 days challenge, which is still going on, by the way. So yeah, it's an Australian movie with Harold out of Neighbours in it. And what really appeals to me about this is that this is ex-rental, even though it's a small clamshell tape. You know, it's a small, like, sell-through sort of tape. It is an ex-rental tape, and it's got the rental videos on. So rental, £3 for 2 nights. That's quite a bit for back then. A pink sticker film. I'm not sure what a pink sticker film maybe means at that particular rental store. Maybe it's just gory, something like that. It does have the video store number on the side. Other than that, there's no more video store stickers on there, but I'm looking forward to seeing that. It looks gooey and fun, and I like stuff that's gooey and fun. You know, I've really got to think about these things before I say them. The Gate 2. I love the first movie, love the second one. Never actually had the second one on VHS, so I'm really pleased to pick this up. I got this for next to nothing on eBay, and I'm really pleased with that. This is the sort of tape that I've always loved the most, the big box. So if you look at if you're not familiar with the difference between the two, the clamshell was about yay big, and the ex-rental big box was much larger, which gave more room for awesome artwork. And of course, which I have already shown on the channel once before, is Head of the Family, the Full Moon movie, because yeah, I'm still going on about Full Moon features because I love them dearly. They're great fun. I've always loved these things, and I always will. So that's my recent acquisitions, but I want to talk today about the appeal of ex-rental tapes, and just why are they so appealing to collectors. So what is the appeal of ex-rental VHS tapes? I mean, the format's dead, so it's really only like crusty old movie geeks like myself that go and find VHS tapes actively, and it's not the best format in the world, and these things are often covered in stickers and gunk, and they've been through lots of hands and so on. But what is the appeal? Seriously, what is the appeal of things like that? Because I don't know myself. So let's have a think about that today, because I love these things. A tatty cover, you know, it's battered, it's used, it's been on the shop shelf for a long time. So what is the appeal? While we think about that, we're going to have a look through some tapes here. So I've literally set this to ex-rental VHS to see what comes up. I'm not setting it to cheapest or ending soonest or anything like that. I just want to see if anything interesting comes up. So let's start getting some of these open in some tabs. So I think the appeal here with ex-rental VHS, quite simply, is that it directly connects us to the video store experience. Because all of us that went through the video store years remember checking out things on the big boxes. They were appealing. They had more artwork. They were quite striking. Ooh, Labyrinth. They could be quite striking. They could be quite gaudy in a lot of ways. There's a fine example is Neon Maniacs. I should go and have a look at that artwork there. There's a big box ex-rental VHS tape Jot Blot there. There's Adventures in Babysitting. That was one that was talked about at school a lot. I remember the school kids thinking, "Oh, this is great. You've got to see this. There's so much swearing in it." That was a big thing when I was at school. That people would get fascinated by things with swearing in. I say, if only you knew. If only you knew. Let's see what else we got. Oh, Black Mama, White Mama. That's a good movie. Despite what you may think by the cover there, that is a good movie. Explorers, Starman, The Rats. Satan's Dog. See that? This is an interesting one because we've got Satan's Dog here. I'm just going to open up Satan's Dog. This is a good example of something I want to bring up about VHS tapes, is that with VHS tapes, much like with YouTube and similar, VHS, it was something where the playing field was leveled, where something like Satan's Dog, a cheap-ass knockoff horror movie, would be right next to something far higher budget, say, just for example, because it's open, Labyrinth. And they could be side by side on the shelf, completely level playing field, completely, you know, the exact same amount of space taken up by each one. And, you know, you think, oh, Labyrinth, that's very exciting. It's got David Bowie in it. I remember that. I love that film. Great film. But then you've got Satan's Dog with a big demonic dog on it. And it's like, oh, that looks exciting as well. I'm not saying it's anywhere near as good as Labyrinth because nothing ever will be, but you know what I mean. It has that appeal, and it has that shelf appeal. Shelf appeal, that's the word, that's the term I'm after. And that, I think, is at the heart of why ex-rental VHS tapes remain popular with collectors such as myself. We've got Explorers here, great kids movie from about 1985, I think it was 85. So we'll look on the back there, yeah, 85. Where some kids build a spaceship and go to space. It's proper wish fulfillment, that movie. If you've never seen Explorers, I do wholeheartedly recommend it as a good family view, a good family watch. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Now this looks like big box VHS from the back end of the rental era. So this is when things had got a bit samey. So looking at these movies here, we've got Free Willy 3. Free Willy 3? There was a third? Toy Story, Mighty Joe Young, Mission Impossible, Dragonheart, Rush Hour 2. These are things that would have been popular in video stores as, you know, weekend watches for families, things like that. But they're not things that are really going to be that collectible to dorks. Jesus, Jeepers Creepers. Yeah. Although at the bottom of that there is a CBS Fox copy of Bachelor Party. Well, while it's not a big box, that's an interesting one. I'm still waiting for you. That would be one of those the cheapy, like Scream type things that came out around about that time. So yeah, that's fine for £25 if you want to fill the collection out. But it's not one that's full of stuff that you want to get your hands on desperately that you've not seen 1,000 times before elsewhere. However, this Neon Maniacs, this is a great example from the VHS era, one of my favourite tapes, as I've mentioned before on this show. It's VHS, one of my favourite VHS tapes ever is Neon Maniacs. The film makes no sense. Bunch of Neon Maniacs. Don't know why they're called Neon Maniacs. It's just a bunch of maniacs in cool costumes show up and cause mayhem around a town. See some of the artwork on the back is just stunning there. I really regret selling that tape, and you know, may get it back in one day, but I'm trying to just moderate my VHS intake at the moment. But you know, I don't know how long that will last. I can't make any promises. So yeah, Neon Maniacs is a very good example there. Like with Satan's Dog, Neon Maniacs is a better film than Satan's Dog, but not by much. Look at that cover. How could you not find that cover appealing if you saw it on a shelf? And that is something I found fascinating about the VHS era, is that you could get crazy horror movies next to big budget Hollywood movies, which are a bit more of a safe bet. Yeah. Oh, that's a nice one. Thorn EMI Screen Entertainment. That is the large format clamshell of Red Sonja. So it's not like a hard plastic one like these. It's the sort of puffy plastic that came with the like Warner Home movies and things like that. There's a good example. It's kind of moulded inside like that, and not as sturdy as the later ones like the Gate and Head of the Family that I've got there, but very desirable to collectors, and that looks like it's in really good condition. Yeah, love that. That is that's also got the first version of the PG symbol on it before it got the BBFC writing in the background of it. That's a really nice tape. So yeah, that is the appeal of VHS ex-rental VHS tapes, is that they have. Is that Anthony Michael Hall? I don't remember that one. Yes, Anthony Michael Hall, Jenny Wright, Jeff Kober, Glyn Turman. Some cool looking punks.
check out the Hawk. That's awesome. They connect us to that video era, that video shop experience, and it is something you can recreate at home with your own shelves. If you want to make some shelving units where they can be like slanted on, like in video stores, or if you just want to put them on a bookshelf together, on a bookcase, they just look great. They look fabulous. Stallone Judge Dredd movie. Okay, now, listen, hear me out. The Stallone Judge Dredd movie is not a good film. However, the first 20 minutes of it are great. Until Dredd takes the helmet off, that Judge Dredd movie is really good, and I love that dearly. And I'm a huge Dredd fan, and I love the reimagining of it with Carl Urban. That was brilliant. That was very, very good. But that one with Stallone in it, that captured Mega City 1, the Mega City 1 vibe, and you got the ABC Warrior, and you got Rico and things like that. But yeah, as soon as Dredd took the helmet off, it was crap. So yeah, I'm not going to open that up. But there you go. There's Home Alone 2. That has a lot of retro appeal at the moment. A lot of people my age and slightly younger remember the Home Alone movies fondly. Well, the first two anyway. After that, it's just not good. Unfortunately, that Home Alone 2 tape would still have Donald Trump in it, but you know, we can't have everything. Dolls. This is one from the Empire years from Charles Band. This was creepy. This was very creepy because when the dolls got smashed, they had little bloody skeletons inside, and that was well wicked. I love that film. And again, it makes me think of those days looking in the old video shops. This is a good one. So the Space Hunter there. That's one of my grails, Space Hunter. I'm waiting till I find one slightly cheaper, because then I'll be able to bid it up a bit. Although $6.50 is not bad. I'm going to watch that. Space Hunter Adventures in the Forbidden Zone is a film I've always wanted to have a copy of. I've seen it on TV once and never seen it since. It's got Molly Ringwald in it, and I'm a huge Molly Ringwald fan. Because of, I'm complete cliche, because of films like 16 Candles, Pretty in Pink, and The Breakfast Club. I'm a huge fan of Molly Ringwald, and I think she's awesome. And I always wanted to get a copy of that. It's a weird one though, because it was a 3D movie, and it was supposed to be a huge, big, exciting 3D science fiction extravaganza, and it kind of wasn't. But it also had Ernie Hudson and Michael Ironside in it, so you gotta love anything with Ernie Hudson and Michael Ironside in it. Molly Ringwald in there, that's just fab. So I'm going to watch that. But it's the tangible thing, it's the tangible connection to what we came from that I find interesting about it. It makes me think about the old video stores. It makes me think of what I used to dream of having loads of videos. And it's sad that sounds to some people now, but that's what I always wanted back in the day. So here we've got something from like what I think is like the last proper big heyday of the video rental era. So we've got Lord of Illusions there, so that's about 96. I think it was 96. Maybe wrong there. Willem Dafoe and Gregory Hines. What happened to Gregory Hines? In Saigon, that was pretty good. I remember that. Exorcist 3. Mwah, love that movie. And The Alchemist with Robert Ginty in it. That is it's an Empire movie, isn't it? I think that's an Empire movie. Yeah, Charles Band. I see Charles Band on there. Right, okay, let's get in a bid. Let's see if I can get that for under £1.50. Don't tell my wife. I've been outbid. It's very exciting. And again, this is the action that you came here for, isn't it? Anyway, I shall revisit that before too long, because that's a pretty good lot. I didn't realise at first that The Alchemist was in there, so that's cool. Okay, let's have a look at some more what we've got here. So there you go. There's a perfect example. I would always see Lethal Weapon in the video store. It used to be. I used to go to Metro Video in Mailing Bridge in Sheffield, where I used to live, and things like Lethal Weapon and the Police Academy movies there. 21 quid for Police Academy, 8 bids. Oh, that's looking good though. It's good condition. I always remember those being in the 50p section upstairs. There was a room of tapes that were all 50p for a night, and it's 2 nights, something like that. But it was amazing, and I loved that place dearly, and I blame that entirely for me turning out this way. So there's another old staple there, Maniac Cop. I just see some tapes are going up in price. I mean, that's £5.50. I think I got mine for about 10 pence back in the day, and I'm just not finding them anymore in the wild. They're just not there. Charity shops aren't taking them anymore. Most of them aren't anyway. I'm just not seeing them around. So I need to get out to some car boot sales, I think, and see if I can find some cool things there. So let's see what else we've got here. 28 ex-rental VHS tapes. Let's see what the appeal is here. Nuns on the Run, no. Cuffs, X-Files, Enemy of the State, Bait, Eyes Wide Shut, Sorted, Innocent Man, Murder in the First, 2 Days in the Valley. There's some decent movies there, but nothing I would go nuts for, although there's Dead Ringers there, and Dead Ringers was creepy. Oh, Slipstream. I have a copy of Slipstream on VHS. I think it's in a loft somewhere. I need to get that back down. That's the sci-fi movie with Mark Hamill in it, non-Star Wars one, and it's cool. Silverado, that was a solid western back from '86, I believe. Yeah, there's not anything there I'd really want, but that's, again, that looks like a really good few nights entertainment at the video store there. But excuse my recently viewed items, including lots of VHS and Star Trek stuff, because I'm a big nerd. Big nerd. What have we got here? Friday the 13th, ex-rental, tape only. 22 quid. It's got 2 bids on it. Still 2 days, 15 hours left on that. You see there, it's got the sticker on that says please rewind film on it. It's got a bit of damage to the label, but it looks otherwise pretty cool and that. But that's tape only for £22. That tells you a lot that these things are sought after. Oh, there's one of the Warner home video large format clams. Let's see if we've got the some pictures inside that box. These are quite squishy. These felt quite squishy. There's a bit of give to them. Don't know what Day of the Animals is. I've never seen that. It looks fun. The inside of the box. Yeah, there we go. So you can see that's kind of molded. It's kind of, and it doesn't. It's not very sturdy at all. They were kind of flimsy. They felt a bit like something you would get cakes in. You know, like a plastic box from Asda or something like that. Batteries not included. Conan the Barbarian. More Police Academy. Someone's got a bunch of Police Academy movies there. The first version of The Bourne Identity with Richard Chamberlain in it. Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. I think that would be a good place to end the tape. Oh, hardcover. That'd be a good place to end the this episode on. Let's check out that. Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday, the 9th Friday the 13th movie. I didn't see it for ages, this, because I didn't want Friday the 13th to end. Yeah, I know. My favourites are the really cheesy entries. Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, and Part 7, The New Blood. But then it got just too silly for words with Jason Takes Manhattan. Yeah, I know, I'm a heathen. I prefer 6 and 7 to what came before or after. Jason Goes to Hell was supposed to be the big ending to Jason. Round about the same time, there was Freddy's Dead as well. Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, where Freddy Krueger was finally destroyed. Unfortunately, it was mainly destroyed by a really terrible film. So Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday, it was supposed to be the big final act of Jason. And spoiler alert, if you've not seen the movie from 1993, the last shot was Jason's mask being pulled down to hell by Freddy's glove. It's a really fun scene. Unfortunately, Freddy versus Jason wouldn't happen for like 8 years after that, but it got there eventually and was pretty good. I thought it was pretty entertaining. Very straightforward, silly horror movie, but good fun. Freddy versus Jason. I do like a bit of the old schlock there. And Kelly Rowland was in it, and that was just bizarre seeing Kelly Rowland from Destiny's Child in a horror movie getting her nose sliced off by Freddy. Not very nice, but you know, it was weird time. But yeah, these things do make you think of the past, and because they've been preserved and they've been looked after by the people that have had them, they look as they did then. And that's part of the appeal for me. You would always dream of having the movies that you saw in the video store. The video stores are magical places for me because, things were hard. Back home, back in my hometown at the time, there was a lot of bad stuff going on around town, and I needed an escape, and I found that escape in Metro Video by renting terrible horror sequels and just being elsewhere for 90 minutes. And it's perfect. And that, it makes me nostalgic for enjoying those films. It doesn't make me nostalgic for the time itself, but it does make me nostalgic for seeing these movies again. And it's great fun. And I think that's what it all comes down to, the appeal of ex-rental videotapes for me. And I would imagine that a lot of collectors, it takes us back to those days, and it's fun. I think that sums it up. Thank you ever so much for watching this episode of Planet Hex. I'll be back again soon with a new episode all about a particular movie I'm very fond of, which is a bit different to my usual stuff that you've seen me talking about, like with Jason Movies here. And you can also find me on my second channel, That Retro Life, where I talk about that retro life that so many of us lead and what connects us to the past, much like VHS tapes. Although I haven't covered VHS on there yet. I'm trying to steer away from just putting out constant VHS content, although that is what I love dearly. But over on That Retro Life, it's more about toys and pop culture of the 80s and 90s. So that is also accompanied by my podcast, Andrew Hawnt's Rock Revival, which has taken a bit of a break because I've been doing a load of other things, but that will be returning very soon for a new episode. But there is an archive there. Just ask your favourite smart speaker in your living room, Alexa, play Andrew Hawnt's Rock Revival. If Alexa just started playing it, I'm sorry, I do apologise. But thank you very much for checking out this episode of Planet Hex. And I want to watch some movies now. I don't know about you. See you soon.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and validate my existence.